the new horror picture at the Ritz.
I'll see if I have enough money.
Let me know.
Congratulations, Patty. What'd I do?
Maybe you won a sweepstakes or something.
Let's see what the Jungle Drums are saying.
Hi, Patty.
Congratulations.
What are you talking about? Haven't you heard? You're up for the presidency of the Girls' League. Me? I nominated my cousin Kathy. Kathy made it, too.
How about that? You and Kathy are running against one another.
Oh, no.
I think it's wonderful having two presidential candidates under the same roof.
Oh, but I couldn't run against Patty. The Girls' League needs someone who's popular. What they call a wheel. I'll withdraw. Oh, no, you'd make a better president than I would. They need someone with culture. You've lived all over Europe. You speak French. I'll withdraw.
Well, just a minute. If you've both been accepted as nominees, neither one of you can withdraw.
What's going to stop us?
What do you think would happen to our whole political system if a nominee withdrew just because he liked his opponent?
You see, you could undermine the whole structure of our country.
I'm serious. Which one of you wins is not important. The important thing is that you get in there and try.
Yeah, beat each other's brains out. Kathy and me to fight one another, Papa?
I'm not sure this is such a good idea, Martin.
Well, there's nothing personal in it. Politics is a healthy form of competition. I've covered hundreds of campaigns. Everybody blows off a lot of steam, but when it's all over, there aren't any hard feelings. When you girls were accepted as candidates, you were given a responsibility to campaign to the best of your ability. Well, you owe that to your schoolmates, both of you.
When do you two make your speeches?
We're supposed to fire the opening guns in our U.S. history class tomorrow. If you get elected, can I get in on the graft?
Boss, doesn't the honor involved make any impression on you?
Only the graft.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights the girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bouquets, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Don't worry, Kath. I'll find an excuse not to run. I'll probably flunk in Latin anyway, and they'll disqualify me. I won't let you fail in Latin. They need a dynamo like you. I know I'd make a great president, but they could use someone with brains, like you. I'd be selfish if I ran. If you were president, it would not only be good for the League, it would be good for you. What do you mean? Well, it might help to give you a sense of responsibility. Is that so? Well, there's no point in taking chances on getting someone's feelings hurt. It'd be a landslide anyway. No, it wouldn't. You'd get a lot of votes, Patty. I meant it would be a landslide for me. You? You're silly. You're not really qualified to be a president. You said so yourself. You nominated me because they need someone with culture and brains. Well, I was being unselfish, too. I nominated you because I thought if you became a little more social around the campus, you might be able to get a date for the mashed potato ball. I can get a date any time I like. There's just no one I care to go out with. I nominated you because I thought it might help you to grow up. I thought it was time you had a little more on your mind than milkshakes and Richard Harrison. Not necessarily in that order. Oh, really? All right. You just got yourself an opponent. I'm not much of a speaker. In fact, I'm not much of a politician. My esteemed opponent, Patty, is a wonderful girl. And she is a go-getter. The trouble is that when you want her to get, she's usually too busy going. It all depends on what qualities the Girls' League wants in a president. If you're looking for someone who can do the bossa nova and the baked potato, vote for Patty. But if you want someone who isn't flighty, someone who will dedicate herself to the tasks at hand with intelligence and integrity, then I ask that you vote for me. Thank you.
hear from our next candidate, Patty Lane.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, at least I know the difference between the mashed potato and a baked potato. One is a dance, the other is a vegetable. One of the most important functions of the Girls' League is to set up extracurricular activities for its members. Kathy's idea of having a ball is to play chess all night. If you want chess and classical concerts, elect her. But if you want a program of real fun, elect me.
And now our third candidate, Susan Baxter.
Vote for me. And then she called on me, and I got up and talked. It was the first speech I had ever made.
Were you nervous?
Not after I started. I'll bet you were smashed. Well, I did reasonably well, I think. For someone who was only interested in chess. I didn't mean that, Kath. It was just campaign talk. You know, like calling someone flighty.
What did I tell you? Democracy in action.
And if I'm elected president of the Girls' League, I pledge to fight for more student dances. We need more guest speakers. We want more freedom in our choice of clothes. I say we should be more concerned with curriculum than with clothes. Kathy's been living in Europe. Maybe she'd understand our problems better if they were in French. I have a straight-A average. What does Patty's answer to that? Who wants a grind for president? In 2 years, we will be going to college. Let's not elect a president who has milkshakes for brains. The Girls' League should support our school sports. If Kathy is elected, we'll all be tripping over cricket wickets. Vote for me. Quo vadis, Richard?
Great, Patty. Of course, it's still pretty early. You know what I think we should do?
What?
Set up a regular campaign headquarters, the way they do in the national elections.
Crazy, Richard, with buttons and stickers and everything.
That's a ticket.
And I know just where to set up headquarters.
Good morning.
Yes, again.
Good evening.
Don't look now, but I think World War III has just broken out. Welcome to National Headquarters.
Yeah, but Patty and Kathy share this room.
They did. Kathy took one look at this and fled from the house.
It's the lowest trick I've ever heard of. She's turned our bedroom into her campaign headquarters.
That's pretty terrible, all right.
I could kill myself.
Because your cousin's such a sneak?
No, because I didn't think of it first. Come on.
Where to?
We're going to counterattack. Can I help you, Kathy? You've already helped me by letting me have your room, Ross. You're certain you won't mind sleeping on the couch? For 50 cents a night, I'd sleep on the roof. Are you sure Conrad Hilton started this way?
The banner's up.
Good. I wonder what the sneak is up to. I wonder what the sneak is up to.
They've got the banner up.
Never trust a relative.
Gee, Patty, you practically threw her out of here. She had to go somewhere.
Whose side are you on?
Well, yours, only I hate to see women go to war. At least men are logical.
I wish I knew what she was doing.
What's the difference?
It's just good strategy to know what the enemy has up her sleeve. Hi, group. Say, what do you hear from the White House? And you. You gave her your room, you traitor. That's a lie. I'm renting it to her. Ross. Yes, Mr. President? How'd you like to be a spy? I'm too young to get shot. For $1? You just bought yourself a spy. Who do I shoot? I can't get into Kathy's headquarters, but you can. Gee, I don't know, sis. All you have to do is let me know what's going on in there, what she's planning. I'll take my money in advance. Richard. Give him $1 for me, will you?
I wonder if campaign contributions are deductible.
Now, I want you to get me all the information you can. I feel like Mata Hari. Is the new campaign slogan ready?
They're still working on it.
What's it gonna say?
Take the right lane, Patty. How's that for a slogan?
Take the right lane, Patty. That's great, Richard. By the way, where are you gonna put it?
In the school corridor tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. It'll be the first thing the kids see when they get to school.
Hi, Kenny. What are your plans? We're going to have a rally at noon tomorrow. How many elves in rally?
Tomorrow afternoon, we can put up the campaign posters. We can do it as soon as school is over.
Tomorrow afternoon will be too late. What? Nothing. Do you know what we lack? A good, effective campaign slogan. Kathy? Yes, Rod. How would you like to hire a counter spy? Look! We've been taken. Would you please ask Kathy to pass the salt?
Kathy, would you pass... Aren't you talking to her?
I'd rather not discuss it.
Then I'm afraid you'll have to try a salt-free diet.
Would you please ask Patty to pass the bread, Uncle Martin?
Well, even in national presidential campaigns, the candidates still talk to one another.
But they don't call their opponents spindle-headed bores. And they don't accuse their opponents of having milkshakes for brains. They do if it's true. As for you, do you know what you are? Sure, an operator. You have to fight fire with fire. Listen, you, I've had...
Time! Now, what is this all about?
Kathy is running a vicious, underhanded campaign. I can't help it if the truth hurts. The students don't want an electronic brain for president. They want a natural-born leader, like me.
Now, wait a minute. Let's declare the dining room neutral territory, okay?
It's too late. And it's your fault.
My fault? I'm not even running.
Maybe you should start. I asked you to let both of them withdraw in the beginning, King Solomon.
Well, you were wrong. This is nothing but a little healthy letting off of steam. Ross, would you ask your mother to pass me the butter?
Couldn't you sleep either?
No. There's too much political tension in the air.
I'll fix that for you.
Oh, thanks. You know, I'm sorry about that little scene at dinner tonight.
We both acted like children.
You know, it's really ridiculous of us to worry about the girls. They love one another.
I know.
They couldn't be closer if they were sisters.
I know.
Well, what are we so worried about?
Martin, what if Kathy's elected? What about Patty?
What do you mean?
Patty won't like it one bit. She's a born winner.
Well, maybe it's time she had a little experience as a loser.
Patty would take it very hard if she lost. So would Kathy.
Oh, look, Natalie, I've covered hundreds of campaigns.
This isn't a smoke-filled caucus room. These are two sensitive girls competing with each other, and they're beginning to beat each other's brains out. What do you want, mayonnaise or mustard?
I'll vote for mustard.
I'll take mayonnaise. I heard on tonight's grapevine that Richard's going to take a straw ballot.
How'd it come out?
Ross doesn't know yet.
Ross, he's your grapevine?
Don't laugh. I think there's a good chance Ross could come out of this election a millionaire. Martin, what does a straw ballot mean?
Well, if Richard's handling it, I don't think it means anything. How could anybody win with Richard running their campaign?
I think he's a sweet boy.
Well, I didn't say he wasn't. He just shouldn't be running anything.
Isn't it terrible? I don't even want to hear what the results are, period. I don't even know who to root for.
Oh, we're being silly. Now, it looks like a big problem now, but in a few days we'll be laughing about all this.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. The election will be over, the winner and the loser will be buddies again, and all of these attacks on each other will be forgotten. You just wait and see.
Here's your sandwich.
I'm not hungry.
Neither am I.
How's it look? Shake the milkshake kid. Vote for Kathy. That's fine, Mary. Try to get them out by tonight, and we'll distribute them in all of Patty's classes tomorrow. Right, Chief? Ted, how do you like it?
Fine.
Is anything wrong?
Well, Kathy, can I see you a minute? Richard took a straw ballot, so I thought we should take one. I just got the results.
What were they?
Well, I'm going to give it to you straight. Patty got 50%. You got 30%. Susan got 15%, and 5% voted for Rock Hudson.
Well, I suppose that's it then.
But we're not licked yet. The reason Patty has such a big edge is because everyone knows her. Don't forget, she's been going here since she was a freshman.
Well, it's too late for me to become a freshman.
But it's not too late for everyone to get to know you.
How?
By challenging her to a debate.
A debate.
A debate helped elect a president of the United States.
The Lincoln-Douglas debate in 1860.
You have been away a long time. Look, we could hold it in the big gym. The entire girls' league would get a chance to hear you.
It's a marvelous idea, Ted.
There's only one problem. Patty might refuse.
Not Patty. She's too much of an egomaniac. That egomaniac. Challenging me to a debate. Well, we know what to say to her.
Right. We say no.
No.
Why don't you challenge her to a game of handball?
You think she can out-debate me?
That's not the point. Ross sold me a copy of that straw vote that Kathy took. We're ahead. All we have to do to win is sit tight. Everybody knows you. If you debate with her, everybody will get a chance to know Kathy.
That's good.
That's bad. I have a feeling we better not tangle with her.
I have a feeling we better. We debate. Hello. I just wanted to let you know I accept your challenge. I knew you would. I'm only doing it to give you a fighting chance. I've already won the election. If you're referring to that straw ballot of Richard's, it doesn't mean a thing. Well, I bet it would if you were winning. I suppose it would. I shouldn't have said that. You were right. What's a straw ballot anyway? Especially with Richard taking it. I wish we had never gotten involved in this, Patty. So do I. This whole thing's gotten bigger than both of us. It almost seems as though you have to be mean to win. That's politics. Well, it will all be over soon. Yeah. Gee, this is the first friendly conversation we've had in a long time. Feels good. I know. Patty, perhaps we shouldn't go ahead with the debate. I thought you wanted it. I did. But now I think I'd feel better if we didn't go ahead with it. All right, if you're worried about it, we can call it off. I wasn't worried for me. I was thinking about you. Me? I never told you this, but I was the debating champion of Mrs. Tuttles of Mountain Briar. Well, this isn't Mrs. Tuttles of Mountain Briar, cousin. This is Brooklyn Heights, my territory. I was only trying to help you, but you're too pig-headed. All right, we debate. Right, we debate. Elect Patty, and the entire student body will be dancing in the corridors with a hot dog in one hand and a milkshake in the other. She'll turn Brooklyn Heights High into an amusement park. A school should mean more than that. Patty's a prominent personality and a promising promoter, but she is not a president. If the Girls' League votes for Patty tomorrow, it will be making a grave mistake. Thank you.
And now for her summation, Patty Lane.
If you have a Kathy Lane for a friend, you don't need an enemy. What's wrong with a little dancing in the corridors? Things are lively around here, and we're going to keep them that way. What we need is a president who knows our problems. If Kathy is elected president, our biggest problem will be our president. She turned, my own sweet brother, who adored me, into a Benedict Arnold. Let's not turn her loose on strangers. Keep her out of office. If she's elected, you'll be setting our school back 50 years. Thank you.
And now for the summation of our third candidate, Susan Baxter. Vote for me. The stewards have just finished tallying the votes. This has been the most closely contested election in the history of the school. The candidates put up a hard fight. In fact, one could have wished for a little less heat and a lot more light. Things were said during this campaign that could have been put under the heading of battle fever. Now that the election is over, I hope these things will be forgotten and all the bitterness put aside in the best tradition of American fair play. And now, let's see who the new president of the Girls' League is.
I got here as quickly as I could. What's happened?
Patty's running away from home.
Well, how do you know?
Come upstairs. There.
Why would she do this?
Kathy must have won the election and Patty couldn't face it.
Where is Patty?
I can't find her anywhere. I phoned you as soon as I saw this.
I've heard of bad losers, but this is ridiculous.
There's a lot of bitterness between them. Patty always felt that she's the more popular. It must have killed her to have Kathy show her up.
Well, it's time Patty found out life is not one big popularity contest.
Write it to her when she gets settled.
We better hurry with that suitcase.
It's all ready.
Hold it.
How could you do this?
I might have known you were mixed up in this. Young lady, you are not going anywhere.
What are you talking about?
You and Kathy, you are going to sit down woman to woman and settle your differences.
Well, there's no point in that. We both...
Oh, yes, there is. You both belong here.
Of course we do.
Then you'll stay?
Sure, Papa.
That's my girl.
Boy, you sure have an emotional family.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
There, that's better.
Better than what?
Cool it. Now, Patty and Kathy, we were a very happy family before this election, and we are going to be a happy family again. Now, isn't that what you really want, both of you?
Sure. We never...
Good. Now, just because Kathy won the election, you can't...
I didn't win.
You won, and you're still
I
going to
didn't
run...
win.
You didn't?
No. Kathy and I knocked each other out of the box. Susan Baxter won, the dark horse.
What about the suitcase?
Yeah, what about it? Listen, I don't mean to be a nag, but we better get it down. That truck will be here any minute.
Truck? The first thing Susan did as president was start a drive for the Salvation Army. We're contributing all our old clothes and things to it.
You mean you had no intention of running
Of
away?
course not. Kathy and I buried the hatchet. In each other, but we buried it.
Well, I told you it would be all right.
Don't you know you couldn't dynamite us out of here? Where else would we find a family like this with color television? Come on. I'd better get ready. Ted is taking me to the mashed potato ball tonight.
Oh, I'm so proud of him I could burst.
So am I. I'm glad it's all over.
Hi, group. Boy, have I got good news for you. Guess who got nominated for president of the 5th grade?
Oh, no.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins. time to even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Oh, we're going to give you two some real competition tonight in that dance contest.
Ted, I'm not going to enter the contest.
Why not?
I'm not good enough. Of course you are. I'm sure you'll win. I should. It's my house.
I'm counting on you tonight, Kathy.
Well, gotta go. Come on, Ted. See you tonight. And don't get too tired. Practice sitting out a few. That's more fun. Bye.
Bye.
I'll see you tonight, Kathy.
Goodbye, Ted. Imagine you not knowing the hammer. If my father were a foreign correspondent and I traveled all over the world with him, I'd know every dance there was. Father and I went to the ballet quite often. I'll bet. I've never been in a dance contest before. I'm a bit nervous. It's just a bunch of kids coming over for some laughs. It's nothing to be nervous about. I wish I had your confidence. You're not afraid of anything. That's because there's nothing to be afraid of. It's all in your mind. Mom, can I tell her the bad news?
I'll do it. I just spoke to the doctor. I made a 4 o'clock appointment for you today.
For what?
For your flu shot.
Boy, do they use a long needle. Flu shot? Today?
Today. You've been putting it off every week for a month. Now, you're not stalling any longer.
Mom, I can't go today. I don't feel well.
Oh, what's wrong this time?
Same as last time. She's a coward. I'm not. I have this terrible headache.
Last week you had a stomach ache. The week before that you had a backache. Before that it was a stiff neck.
That's what I mean. I'm a pretty sick kid.
You're as healthy as a horse.
I may be a healthy horse, but I'm a sick kid. Besides, I hate flu shots. They hurt like the dickens. Don't they, Kathy? No. Who asked you? Mom, I can't get a shot today. I'm giving a party here tonight.
No shot, no party. You better get started.
You know, that needle must be a foot long.
Out!
I wish I could watch.
Meet Kathy, who's lived everywhere, from Zanzibar, Berkeley Square.
I don't understand you, Patty. Why are you so upset over a little flu shot? Shots don't hurt. Maybe they don't hurt you, but... Shots don't hurt you? Of course not. Kathy, I've got a great idea. I don't like it. You haven't heard it yet. All I want you to do is go to the doctor and get the shot in my place. You mean, because we look alike, the doctor won't know the difference and he'll give me the shot thinking I'm you? Yeah. It's a wonderful idea. And it'll work, too. Except for one little thing. What? I won't do it. How can you turn down a blood relative? I've already had my flu shot. And besides, my taking your shot isn't going to immunize you. You should take the shot. It will keep you healthy. I don't want to be healthy. I'm a sick kid and I want to stay that way. Patty? She's coming on, Natalie. Come on. Follow me. Don't be such a coward. You're not afraid of anything because there's nothing to be afraid of. That's what you said. I lied.
Kathy, I want you to go to the doctor with Patty and see that she gets her shot.
All right, Aunt Natalie. Can I go too? I'll help hold her. Why don't we do it tomorrow? My horoscope says it's a bad day for flu shots. Come on, Patty. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A brave man only once. I'm going to my execution. She quotes poetry. Remember me! You know, I'll bet Patty talks Kathy into taking her shot for her.
Dr. Williams, please. This is Natalie Lane. Hello, doctor. No, she's on her way. I just called to warn you. This time she may try to pretend she's her cousin. Good. Oh, and doctor, be gentle with her. Patty's a very sensitive child.
He's not here. Let's go. No. I'll tell the doctor you're here. I'll be right back. You stay here. I'm too sick to see a doctor. You heard what your mother said. No shot, no party. Sit down there. Pardon me.
Oh, hello, Patty. You're right on time.
I'm not Patty.
Oh, then you must be her cousin.
That's right. I'm Kathy.
I thought so.
I'll bring Patty in
No,
now.
that won't be necessary. Your mother called and warned me about you two.
That was my aunt who called.
Your mother became your aunt? When did she do that?
When she married my father's brother. I mean, Father and Uncle Martin look alike, and so do Patty and I. People mistake us, What did you do?
It's all over, Patty. Now you won't have to worry about getting the flu.
Hello? I wasn't worried. I've already had my flu shot.
It's the hospital, doctor. They're ready for you.
I'll be right there.
But, Doctor...
Patty, you're a very brave girl. We're all proud of you.
How do you feel? Fair. Are you going to tell your mother what happened? Of course I will. Sometime in the future. Are you going to get your shot? Of course I will. Sometime in the future. All right, all right. I'll go tomorrow, I promise. Only, in the meantime, let's not say anything to Mom. She's kind of, well, you know how old people are.
I didn't hear you come in. Did you go to the doctor?
Yes, ma'am?
Did you get your flu shot?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you feel?
Great.
You see, I'll bet it didn't even hurt.
I can honestly say I didn't feel a thing. Here, try this. Heat's great for swelling.
Here's your dress, dear. I ironed it and said, why haven't you two started to get ready yet? Your guests will be arriving soon. Kathy, what's the matter with your arm?
Nothing, Aunt Natalie.
Well, then why have you got a hot water
Mom,
bottle?
I have a confession to make. I didn't get that shot. Kathy did.
What?
It was an accident. I went in to tell the doctor that Patty was there. And he thought I was Patty. And before I knew it, ouch.
Oh, you poor baby.
I'm fine, really.
No, you stay in bed.
But I have to get dressed for the party.
I'm afraid there's not going to be any party for you tonight. I'm going to go call Dr. Williams.
Patty. I know how you feel, Kath. I'll tell you what. If you can't come down to the party, I won't either. Would you? Well, sure. Of course. If that's what you want me to do. Do you? No. You talked me out of it. For your sake, I'll go down, but I won't have a good time. You'd better call Ted and tell him. He was looking forward to the dance contest. Why don't we wait? Maybe the doctor will say it's all right.
I just spoke to the doctor. He says you're having a mild reaction to the shot. It happens occasionally. It's nothing to worry about. You stay in bed tonight, and you'll be fine in the morning.
I'm sure I'll be all right.
You stay in bed, young lady. Oh, I know it's a disappointment, but there'll be other parties. I'll get you an ice pack. The doctor said to apply cold to the arm.
So I'm not Ben Casey. I can't stand Ted up at the last minute. He'll never date me again. Never. I wish I could change places with you so that you could go to the party and I could... I can keep your date with Ted. What? He'll think it's you. You couldn't. Of course I could. You took my shot for me. The least I can do is date your boyfriend for you. Better than having him bring another girl. This way we'll keep him in the family. What about your date with Richard? I'll keep that too. You can't be both of us. When the boys come, there have to be 2 of us. You've got a point. Let me think. There are 2 boys coming over for 2 girls. And there's only 1 of you. Is there? Good evening, Ted, old chap. You're looking simply divine this evening. I don't talk like that. That's what you think. Oh, there you are, Ted, darling. I don't call him darling. You will tonight. How can you fool both of them? Leave it to me. Patty, promise me one thing. What? You can kiss your date, but not mine. Promise? Promise. Gee, I hope I don't get confused. How do I look?
Lovely, darling.
You look like your mother did when she was your age. It brings back memories.
Wasn't that long ago.
You remember the first dance I ever took you to?
Yes, it was at Jean Ann Dockstetter's house.
That's right.
You wore a new blue pinstriped suit.
That's right.
And you danced every dance with Jean Ann Dockstetter.
That's wrong.
I know, but you did it anyway. They were shaking the shimmy, and she had more to shake than I did.
That's right.
You 2 aren't going to start reminiscing now, are you?
I thought you liked to hear about the Stone Age.
I do. Only my guest will be arriving any second.
All right, darling, the Flintstones are leaving. Ross is sleeping out tonight, and Mrs. Crown is coming in to supervise the party. Please don't give her a hard time.
We won't.
Have fun.
We will.
Come on, Ma.
Paul?
Bye.
What are you so jumpy about?
Me? Jumping? I guess it's just the tension of being a hostess.
Well, where's Kathy?
Who?
Your cousin, Kathy.
Oh, my cousin Kathy.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing. She's in the kitchen helping Margaret with the sandwich.
Is everyone here, Patty?
Now they are. Excuse me a minute.
Sure, she's in the kitchen making sandwiches.
Oh, here she is. Hello, Kathy.
Good evening, Ted.
Hello, Kathy.
Oh, good evening, Mrs. Crown. I thought you'd never get here.
Oh, I had to run an errand for my parents.
We haven't seen you all evening, Kathy. I understand you've been helping in the kitchen.
Yes, ma'am. Would you excuse me? Would you care to dance?
Sure.
She's a lovely girl.
Yeah. I wonder where Patty is. Hey, Pete, have you seen Patty?
Nope. I'll give you Henrietta.
I wonder where she went. She's just here.
There's a bunch in the den. Maybe she's there.
Oh, thanks.
Kathy? Kathy?
Oh, yes, Ted.
I'm really looking forward to the dance contest.
Are you?
Well, aren't you?
Oh, certainly. Only, Patty and Richard are so good, I don't think we stand a chance.
Oh, don't sell yourself short. You're much more graceful than Patty.
That's so. I mean, Patty is a natural-born dancer.
Well, she could use some of your modesty.
Ow! Oh, so sorry.
That's all right. What's the matter?
I'm suddenly terribly thirsty. Would you mind getting me a drink?
Well, all right. I'll be right back.
Mary, have you seen Patty?
Kathy. I just saw her with Ted.
Where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
Where have I been? I've been looking all over for you. Let's dance.
All right. Can we dance a little faster, please?
If you say so. Is this fast enough?
Hey, Patty, have you seen Kathy?
Oh, hi there, Teddo. I think she's in the hall.
Thanks. She's thirsty.
What are you stopping for?
Excuse me, Richard, I have to powder my nose.
In the middle of a dance?
I can't wait, it's very shiny.
Here's someone who can prove my point. Kathy,
Yes, Mrs. Crumb?
you've been in Scotland, haven't you?
Me? Sure, lots of times.
Did you see the Moors there?
The Moors? Yes.
What are they like?
I loved them, especially Mr. Moore. Excuse me. There you are, Ted. I've been looking all over for you.
I've been looking for you. Here's your drink.
Oh, thank you. Would you mind getting me another one?
Well, you can have mine.
Oh, thanks. My, that was good. Can may I have another one?
Well, can't we sort of be together for a little while?
I think it might be a good idea if we mingled. You go that way, and I'll go this way, and we'll meet.
Well, let's both go this way, then. I haven't had a chance to tell you how pretty you look tonight.
Thank you.
Well, you're the prettiest girl at the party.
I think Patty's prettier.
Are you kidding? She doesn't hold a candle to you.
Who says so?
Besides, you have a better personality.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Well, Patty's a nut. I mean, she's always doing crazy things.
She is not. As far as I'm concerned, Patty is the smartest, prettiest, and most intelligent girl I know.
Well, that's just because you're loyal to her.
You better. You bet I am.
Oh, she's a clod. Well, anyway, I don't want to talk about Patty. Let's talk about us.
Let's not get...
Excuse me.
Richard, I wasn't kissing him. He was kissing me.
You don't have to explain to me, Kathy. You're not my girl. Patty is. Do me a favor, will you? And get Patty out of the powder room. I heard of shiny noses, but this is ridiculous. I want to dance.
Yes, Richard. Certainly, Richard. Excuse me.
Well, wait a minute. I want to dance, too.
All right. I promise you the next dance. I'll be right back.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Kathy, I'm afraid you misunderstood my question about the Moors. What I wanted to know was, do the Moors have Pete?
Yes, they have Pete. They have Pete and Sandy and Angus. They're a big family. You wanted me.
It's about time. I might as well have stayed home.
I'm sorry. I got to talking to some of the girls.
Boys and girls, we're now going to have the dance contest. Prizes will be awarded to the boy and girl who, in the opinion of the judge, me, gives the best interpretation of the hammer. Ellie, the record, please.
Let's go.
Where?
In a contest.
I can't.
What are you afraid of? Who can beat us? Come on.
There you are, Ted.
Kathy, you're sure hard to keep track of.
Good. I mean, I wouldn't want to be underfoot all the time.
Well, let's go.
What are you doing?
We almost missed the dance contest.
I can't enter the contest with you.
You just did. Don't worry, we're gonna win.
You want to know something funny?
What?
Kathy and Ted are the ones to beat. Boy, she really went into orbit. I told you they were the ones to beat.
Excuse me. We won.
You're eliminated.
Eliminated?
The winners are Kathy Lane and Ted Brownlee.
That's ridiculous. She has 2 left feet.
Don't be a bad sport.
I will be a bad sport. I don't mind losing, but not to her. She's a waltzer.
Hey, where is Kathy?
I'll get her.
Kathy, we won.
I don't deserve to win. Patty's 10 times as good.
We won it. What are you arguing about?
I just want to see justice done. Gee, I'm sorry, Rich.
It's Patty.
It's Kathy. I ought to know. She's my date.
I guess I ought to know my girlfriend. Tell them who you are.
I'm Patsy. I'm Patty.
Stop clowning around. Come on, I want to talk to you.
Hey, let go of my date.
She's my date.
She's mine.
Wait a minute, Philip. Wait a minute. I can explain. It's all very simple. Well, not really simple. You see, I went to get a flu shot, and Kathy got it instead, and she got sick, and I'm not feeling too good myself.
No, wait a minute. Bud.
Wait. No, wait. And then both boys started dragging me off. It must have been a terrible experience. Oh, it was. And when we got outside, they started swinging at each other. I had to break it up. Finally, I explained, but I'll get it. Hello.
Hello, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. Hey, Patty told me you were sick last night. How do you feel now?
Oh, I'm much better, thank you.
Where's Patty?
She's inside.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Richard. Hello, Ted. I'm sorry about last night.
We're the ones that are sorry.
Yeah, we didn't mean to start a fight, and...
That's all right. At least it served one purpose. Now you can tell us apart. I'm the natural-born dancer. With a shiner.
Here's Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find
They laugh alike.
they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are...
I'm not interested in the Starsville bit. I think actors are real cold cuts.
Well, I promised Strassman I'd try out for it.
Who's he?
He's the guest director this year. He's very big off Broadway.
I'll be at lunch.
Well, come in and wait while I audition, and I'll buy you lunch.
You reached me.
Seek no color for your going, but bid farewell and go. When you sued staying, then was the time for words. No going then. Eternity was in our lips and eyes.
No. You're not ordering a banana split. You are Cleopatra, the greatest queen on earth, bidding farewell to her lover
Shall I try it again, Mr. Straussman?
over Shakespeare's dead body. Next.
Here's your cousin.
These are the words of the immortal bard. He has survived for hundreds of years. Please do not plunge him into oblivion this afternoon.
I'll try not to, Mr. Strassman.
I will appreciate it. England will appreciate it.
Kathy didn't tell me she was going this route.
Maybe she was planning to spring it as a surprise.
Kathy's inner-directed. She's just square enough to think this is some kind of big deal. Hopes Svengali doesn't wipe her out.
Nay, pray you seek no color for your going, but bid farewell and go. When you sued staying, then was the time for words. No going then. Eternity was in our lips and eyes.
Thank you.
How was I?
I was moved, but not far. Will you wait in the wings, please? Next.
When you sued staying, then was the time for words. No going then.
Wrong. Go. Next. You. Come on, quickly.
No, I'm with him. I didn't come to...
Hurry, I haven't got all day.
I'm no actress.
Then you're an excellent company. Let me see if you can read your mother tongue.
Nay, pray you seek no color for your going, but bid farewell and go. When you sued staying, then was the time for words.
No going then. Eternity was in our lips and eyes, bliss in our brows bent. None our parts so poor, but was a race of heaven. They are so still, or thou, the greatest soldier of the world, art turned the greatest liar.
That's what I want. That's it. You are Cleopatra.
Me?
You're raw, but you have fire. I've never heard a reading just like that. You have a spark that burns with honesty and glows with passion. You are an instrument that I can play upon, a clay that I can model.
I never acted before.
Oh, good. When I was in Hollywood, I directed dozens of...
You directed in Hollywood?
Well, I was an assistant director, actually, but it's the same thing. I worked with all the great stars. Garbo, Barrymore, Rin Tin Tin.
What about me? Yeah, what about her? She's the talent in the family.
Yes, I'm the talent in the family.
You are sisters?
Cousins.
Well, you can play Iris and understudy Cleopatra.
Understudy?
Why don't you let me play Iris and Kathy play Cleopatra?
You have captured the essence of one of the most complex characters in the theater, and the thought behind it. You are instinctively a method actor. I can almost see your mind working. Tell me, what was in your mind when you said, no going then, eternity was in our lips?
Lunch.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. A pair of matching cats, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe from Queen Suzette. Our Patty loves her.
very exciting that you have the lead, Patty. I didn't mean to take it away from you, Kathy. I guess I just swept him away.
Well, at least you're playing Iris.
Yes. There's no such thing as a small part. Only small actresses. Talent is what counts.
Boy, this family's rotten with talent, and I mean rotten.
Richard's gonna play Antony.
That should deal history a mortal blow.
This isn't just another play. It's Shakespeare. The greatest genius who ever lived. Very few people can do justice to the immortal bard.
May I quote you?
Martin.
That's all right, Mother. Let him make fun of me. All great people have had to struggle against disbelievers.
You see, I've been holding her back. She could have been Helen Hayes.
It just so happens that Mr. Strassman thinks I can be a big movie star. He says I'm a natural.
Who's Mr. Strassman?
He's the guest director. He used to be an assistant director in Hollywood.
An assistant director?
You'll excuse me, I must rehearse now. In praising Antony, I have dispraised Caesar. I am paid for it now. Lead me from hence. In praising Caesar, I have dispraised Antony.
Wow, are we gonna have to live with that?
We must be patient, Ross. Patty belongs to the ages now.
She might just surprise you, Martin Lane.
Just think, when I woke up this morning, that little girl was just my daughter, Patty. Now she's Queen of the Nile. Had quite a day. You know, I can't make up my mind.
About what?
What shape swimming pool we should have in Hollywood.
Alack, our terrene moon is now eclipsed, and it portends alone the fall of Antony.
I must stay his time.
To flatter Caesar, would you mingle eyes with one who ties his point?
Not know me yet.
Antony, you follow her. And remember, bathe the stage in colors. I want to see the reds of passion, the blacks of hatred, and the magentas of jealousy.
I feel like a rainbow.
Now go on, suffer.
Together, with my brave Egyptians all, by the discanting of this pelleted storm, lie graveless, until the flies and gnats of the Nile shall bury them for prey.
Bravo. Well, let our mamas rest a while.
Did I suffer enough?
I was moved.
She sure is great, isn't she? I bet she'd really have a chance in Hollywood. Don't you think so, Mr. Strassman?
Hollywood is a city without a gate. It has no entrance. And the walls are so thick that the cries of talented people screaming to get in are unheard by the Philistines inside.
What does that mean?
It means that motion picture studios don't cover high school plays.
If you could get them to this one, I bet she'd melt their neons.
Like hi.
I'll bet Eleonora Juza never said like hi.
Of course not. She was prehistoric.
Well, you all set for the big opening Friday?
It's a slide.
You sound pretty cool about it. Don't you have any stage fright?
Great actors don't get stage fright.
Seems to me I read somewhere they did.
We don't.
Well, it's nice to get it from the horse's mouth.
Daddo, working on a newspaper must be a real blast.
Well, we're not as glamorous as you show people, but it's a living.
It's more than a living. It's life. I mean, when you sit behind your desk, you hold the pulse of the world's heartbeat in your hand.
I do. I didn't know you were interested in the world's heartbeat.
To develop as an actress, you must develop as a human being. Be interested in all the songs of life.
Is that Shakespeare speaking or you?
It's me. The real me.
What is the real you trying to say?
Simply that I'd love to come down and see the newspaper sometime.
You've been to the office.
No, I meant the whole paper. You know, the printing press and everything.
I may owe your Mr. Strassman a big fat apology. When would you like to go?
Now. Hi there. Where in the world have you been? Down at the Chronicle. Ever seen a linotype machine? It's a review of you and Cleopatra.
But it hasn't opened yet.
Listen to this. But, Jack, I have never seen a young actress with the fire and vibrant personality of Patty Lane. The enclosed review will give you some idea. I recommend that the studio sign her before someone else grabs her. You can see her Friday night bringing her magic fire to Cleopatra at the Brooklyn Heights High School. It's signed Lou. How do you like it? It's great. Who wrote it? I did. Then who's Jack and who's Lou? Jack is Jack Warner, and it doesn't matter who Lou is. But won't Jack want to know who Lou is? I'm not sending this letter to Jack Warner. I'm sending it to Dory Sherry with a copy of the review I wrote about me. Doesn't Dory Sherry have his own picture company? Sure. You're writing a letter about you to Jack Warner, and you're mailing it to Dory Sherry. Right. I don't get it. I'm afraid I don't either, Patty. Simple. Hollywood's a city without a gate. You can't just walk in on the Philistines. You have to use some imagination. Ever read about the fall of Troy? They used a wooden horse. Now I get it. She's going to use a wooden actress.
I don't understand this, Mr. Sherry. The envelope was addressed to you, but the letter is addressed to Jack Warner. It must have been sent here by mistake. Whoever they're talking about certainly seems to be talented.
She's a talented con artist. This is the oldest trick in the world. Look, she even had phony reviews printed.
Oh. Shall I throw it away?
No, I like your initiative. Have someone cover the show for us.
Yet have I fierce affections, and think what Venus did with Mars. O Charmian, where thinkest thou he is now? Stands he, or sits he? Or does he walk? Or is he on his horse? Oh, happy horse. Yes. I have to make a move downstage here. This is where Mr. Strassman wants some greens. You'll have to see a florist. Honestly, Kathy, I don't dig all that way out stuff. I just let go and do what comes naturally. Whatever it is, it's very effective. Better work Friday night. Oh, happy horse to bear the weight of Antony. Do bravely, horse.
Cleo, Mom says to tell you soup's on.
I simply cannot work with these constant interruptions. I must be let alone.
Do you want me to tell Mom and Dad to move out of the house?
Nobody appreciates what a terrible strain we artists go through. Let's eat. Child.
All right, let's start from the beginning of scene 3.
All right.
The seats in 8 seats, second row center, are put aside for opening night.
Oh, but I'm afraid the whole second row's been taken by the faculty, sir.
Well, get them back. All the picture studios are asking for tickets. I can't understand it. They say that even Dory Sherry himself might be coming. Maybe he's heard of my work.
Hey, where are the girls?
Patty's in the kitchen rehearsing. Kathy's cueing her. They gave me a preview. Patty's surprisingly good.
Boy, that's a mother's love.
She has a natural acting talent.
Oh, she gets that from my side of the family. My Uncle Ben. He was a used car salesman.
I don't know about your Uncle Ben, but Uncle Dory Sherry's interested in her. He's ordered 4 tickets for tomorrow's opening.
The Dory Sherry?
That's right. Somebody wrote to him about Patty.
Wonder who that could have been.
Martin, what if Patty decides she really wants to be an actress?
We'll send her to a good psychiatrist.
Patty, would you like some hot chocolate?
No, thank you, Mama. I have to watch my figure.
Cleopatra didn't.
How do you know? She was before your time.
I've seen pictures.
I just came in to say goodnight to all you dear, sweet people.
Well, good night to dear sweet you.
I want to let you know that no matter what happens after tomorrow night, I'll never forget any of you.
That's a very comforting thought. And we will never forget you.
Are you planning on running away?
After tomorrow night, you may all be in for a big surprise. But no matter where I go, I'll take you with me. Good night. I bid you fond good night. Dream sweet until tomorrow brings the morning light.
I wonder if they could build us a ham-shaped swimming pool.
In certain circles, that's called the prima donna bit.
You know something, Natalie? I really admire her. I mean, she didn't go after that part. They came to her. But she's really worked at it. She rehearses night and day. And I think it's begun to broaden her interests. When we went down to the newspaper, she spent the whole afternoon in the composing room.
Yeah. Good night, folks.
Patty's going to be good tomorrow night.
Good. She's going to be a smash.
Kathy, will you pass me the syrup, please?
Good morning, group.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning, Uncle Martin.
Hey, where's Patty?
She's getting dressed. She overslept.
Now, there I was, so nervous that I couldn't close my eyes all night, and Patty overslept. Well, you really have to hand it to her. Most kids would be in a state of panic if they knew Dory Sherry was going to be out front watching tonight. There's our little star.
Good morning, darling.
Good morning, Patty. Hi, sis.
Hi.
How is Patty?
She still can't talk, but there's nothing wrong with her. It's psychosomatic. The influence of the mind or the body. Patty is terrified of opening tonight.
But it's just a school play.
Well, apparently she has a feeling that a great deal hinges on it. She has a fear of failing. And the easiest way for her not to fail is not to put herself to the test. So her larynx simply refuses to function.
Why don't we try putting her in front of a telephone?
Martin,
Oh.
there must be something you can do.
There's nothing to worry about, Mrs. Lane. This condition will go away the moment her fear goes away.
That would be too late. The show opens tonight.
I'm so sorry. Why don't you go back to bed?
Do you want to go to school?
You want to go to school and tell them that you're not going to be in the play.
What are you going to say to them?
All right, once again, please. Well, there you are. I was getting worried. We can't have anything happen to our leading lady on opening night. Now, I'd like to run through the death scene once more. Get the ass.
Do we really have to?
What are you whispering for?
We can release 4 seats, Mr. Strassman. I just got the message that the group from Warner Brothers isn't coming.
I'm ready to rehearse the death scene, Mr. Strasberg.
But Dory Sherry will be here, sir.
Like fire. I feel disloyal taking your place, Patty. You should be on that stage tonight. Well, that's show business.
There'll be other shows, dear.
Sure there will. Gee, I'm sorry about this, kitten.
Are you sure you're going to be all right here alone? Dr. Lewis wants you to stay in bed and gargle every hour. We'll be back just as soon as the show's over.
Don't worry, Patty. You just relax. Know that I'll be right there, doing the best I know how. I won't be as good as you, of course, but the audience won't be disappointed. I mean, Cleopatra will be on that stage tonight. I want to wish you all the luck in the world. I'm getting my voice back. I can play the part. You'll see Dory Sherry. There. Shall we get the show on the road?
Well, Kathy, I just dropped in to tell you not to be nervous.
I'm not.
Oh. Well, you'll be fine. But just remember, speak up. Ringing tones. Not now to hear thee sing.
Not now to hear thee sing.
Well, that's the general idea. And remember the colors.
I'll try.
All right, break a leg.
Break a leg. Not now to hear thee sing. Not now to hear thee sing. Not now to hear thee sing. Oh. Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Castle. No, they're not here. They went to the theater. It's our annual school play. I was supposed to star in the production of Antony and Cleopatra. Can you hear me? You can? Thank you. Bye. Not now to hear these things. Yippee!
coming up.
Nay, but this dotage of our generals o'erflows the measure. Those, his goodly eyes,
It's a shame Patty had to miss this. But Kathy's very good, isn't she?
She's a real actress. Her father will be delighted.
Patty will kill herself.
You're doing fine, Kathy.
Do you really think so?
Mean it. Mean it. It's dying. There's no fire.
And they say we shall in battle by the 2nd hour in the morn.
Where's the Queen?
That's your cue. I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Strutman, but I couldn't help it.
No, but over there. You're supposed to enter from over there.
Thank you.
Oh, no, never mind. It's too late now. Go on from here.
The Queen, my lord, the Queen.
Oh, my lady, I have news.
I stand here.
I have news.
Speak up and answer my forebodings.
I talked to Caesar, O Cleopatra.
I cannot hear you.
I've talked to Caesar, O Cleopatra.
Come, falter not, but tell me the tidings. Yes, tell me, ere my heart is melted in its own anguished fire. The message, I implore you. The message, I implore you. Antony?
The news is evil. He sends so poor an opinion of his wing, which has superfluous kings for messengers. Agrippa has begun to fight. Caesar's will is that I shall be taken alive.
Oh, Antony. How heard you this?
Secured for me this message, written in the greatest of secrecy.
Go, Eros. Send his treasure after. Detain no jot, I charge thee. Agrippa has begun to fight. Caesar's will is that Antony be taken alive. That is verily what it says.
Go to her and comfort her, my lord.
These arms shall await your return. So shall these.
I am finished with thee, with both of thee. I bid you adieu.
Give me my robe and my crown. I have immortal longings in me.
Funniest thing I've seen in years.
Why doesn't one of them get off the stage?
Which one? Where's the ass? Give me the ass. I was here first. It's my ass. It's all my fault. I should have gotten off the stage when you came on, Patty. I just got caught up in the part. I'm sorry. It was all my fault. I never should have barged in on you. You were in the middle of a show.
Well, you should hear the audience. We're a smash. It's the best comedy I ever directed.
I want to thank you for one of the most enjoyable evenings I've had in years. Oh, my name is Ryan. I'm a talent scout for 20th Century Fox. You were excellent, young lady.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan.
But you, you were sensational.
Her name's Patty Lane. L-A-N-E. She's my sister.
She's our daughter.
Oh, well, you must be very proud. I think you've got a movie star on your hands. We have a picture coming up with a part that's perfect for you. You can come in tomorrow with your mother and father and discuss contracts. What do you say to that, Patty Lane?
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins.
Hello.
Hey, chick, let's swing.
What's the matter?
Kath hasn't danced once all night.
Well, maybe she's anti-boy.
No red-blooded girl's anti-boy.
I'm really looking forward to the concert tonight.
Yeah, neither am I. Why can't we stay home tonight? It's our house.
Because Patty's entertaining and she doesn't want the Flintstones around.
Maybe we could get a visitor's permit.
Fine, then we could do that then.
Let's go.
Mary couldn't make it tonight, but I'm used to this. I always wind up with a dog.
Would you care for some punch?
Hey, Patty's the really Lady One, isn't she?
Lady One?
Mouseville, the bidder. You're Patty's cousin from Cubesville, aren't you?
No, I'm visiting here from Europe.
Funny. Would you like to do the hammer?
Do you mean dance?
Do I look like a carpenter? They do dance in Europe, don't they?
Of course. But I'm not used to this music yet. Perhaps they'll play a waltz.
Boy, you're older than you look. Come on, chick, let's swing. Hello, Kathy. Would you like to dance?
No, thank you, Craig. Excuse me. I'd better get some more sandwiches. I think she needs to be shot into orbit. Save my plate. I've been robbed! Hello, Tiger. Well, at least you love me. Henry, you just don't understand Kathy.
What's to understand? She's musty, too inferior.
She's afraid.
I'll clue you. Who needs a girl who's best from the neck up?
Kathy's not just an ordinary girl. She's traveled all around the world. Her father's a foreign correspondent. And the only reason she's living with us now is because he wants her to finish her school here. Kathy's a genius. Why, if she wanted to swing out, she could be a great scientist, a brain surgeon, a lawyer.
A spy for the FBI.
I'm not asking you to marry her. I just want you to pay some attention to her.
I'm not a philanthropist. Get someone else to water your wallflowers.
Kat, Henry's just dying to dance with you.
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry. I just got this sudden headache and I'm going to bed. But it's chow time. I'm not very hungry.
I am. Let's eat.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Kathy's only seen the sights a girl can see from...
to water your wallflowers. Hi, Kathy. Can you have chow with me, and then we'll cut it and cool it and make the big scene?
Later, Pound Cake. I've got to dig Kathy. She's Lady One, Wowsville. Kathy, I've got 2 front row seats for the latest hit play.
Excuse me, Patty. I'm going to try and get a date with Kathy. I'll bet she's the most popular girl in the whole world. I'll break my date with Patty and take you bowling.
You promised to have dinner with me.
Please don't fight over me. It's too embarrassing. I'm afraid I'm all booked up. The only night I have open is New Year's Eve, 1973.
You don't have to go bowling. Frankie Avalon opens tonight, and I've got a buddy who can get us in.
I'm terribly sorry, Richard. I have an engagement for this evening. That must be he. Ta-ta. I'm ready, Pound Cake.
Kathy, you're the dreamiest.
It's Frankie Avalon.
A Venus de Milo with arms. Down, beasts.
Another time, perhaps.
Bye.
Bye.
How was the party last night?
A swinger. You should have seen Tiger dance the hammer.
That's a sight I could do without.
Did you enjoy the party, Kathy?
Oh, yes, Aunt Natalie.
Boy, you sure go with a bunch of loudmouths. I couldn't sleep. I know. You were too busy sneaking downstairs. It's my house, too. I got a permit.
Did you like the little joke in my editorial?
I'm not reading your editorial.
That figures. May I ask what you do find so amusing?
Aunt Jane, listen to this. Dear Aunt Jane, my boyfriend is a musician, but he's very shy. How do I get him to kiss me? Here's her answer. Pretend you're a saxophone.
Who's Aunt Jane?
She writes a know-how column for tight pants and sweets.
What?
He's and hers. If you're not making it with your jack-o'-lantern, you gotta, like, swing with the Aunt Jane scene. You dig?
I'm sorry.
She tries to help teenagers, Kathy. Actually, she gives pretty good advice. Her jokes are pretty bad. Of course, what really bothers me is that Patty laughs at them.
Dear Aunt Jane, I sincerely hope you can help me with my problem. I would like to change my image. I am a terrible wallflower.
Boy, I've had wardens in my time, but old man Millhouse is a monster's monster.
Oh, he's an excellent teacher. I believe...
Just what we need, an excellent teacher. I bet he gave us that extra Latin homework just so we'd miss the basketball game.
With a teacher like him, you don't have to bother studying. You've already flunked.
Where we were? In the kitchen. At least we can keep our strength up. Come on, Cat.
I'll be along in a minute.
Okay, later.
You Can Be Popular by Aunt Jane. Anyone can be popular, but there are certain rules that you must follow. Are you willing to do this? Oh, yes. There are a few simple tricks that will help you. For instance, when you are with your date and you find yourself tongue-tied, smile. Wider. Rule 1. Popular people are generous people. They give of themselves. Offer to help your friend. Yes, I
I'll do it right away. You're a smart boy. Latin. Why couldn't the Romans have spoken English like everybody else?
If they did, we could be at the basketball game right now.
Yeah. I finished my Latin thesis. If any of you are having any trouble with yours, I'd be delighted to help you. She's pure mind. She gets an A+ in Latin.
You sure you don't mind? Gee, this is wonderful.
Rule 1. Offer to help your friends. Now that you have conquered Rule 1, we can move on to Rule 2. You have proved you are generous, and it worked out fine, didn't it? Certainly helped my Latin. Rule 2 is, always be honest and frank. Your personality will become a magnet that attracts weaker people to you. The only way to help people is to tell them the truth. Remember, no one respects a dish rag. That's it. I've been a dish rag.
Hi, Kat.
Hello, Uncle Martin. A letter from Father.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He's in Paris. I'm home. Hello, Aunt Natalie.
Hi, Kathy. Patty.
Hi, Mom.
I was worried about you. The gridiron dinner starts at 7 o'clock.
I'm sorry I'm late. I stopped to pick up my new dress. How do you like it?
Very smart.
Sleeky. It's very... Aunt Natalie, would you like me to be honest?
Certainly, Kathy.
I feel it makes you look a bit heavy. Well, it's important to be honest and frank. It's the only way to be helpful.
Of course.
The color is wrong, too. It's too young for you.
Thank you for your honest and frank opinion. If you'll excuse me, I'll go change into something thinner and older.
Oh, now, honey, don't get your feelings hurt. It does make you look a little hippie. I think Kathy was right to be frank.
Nobody likes a dish rack.
That's right.
Is it? Then you might take off the one you're wearing around your neck.
This? Well, you love me in bow ties.
That was 20 years ago. Your neck was thinner. It makes you look like Joe College.
Why didn't you tell me this before?
You never asked me before.
Well, Natalie,
Look, folks, don't let's start an argument.
As long as it's Truth Day, young lady, I'd like to tell you about your irritating habit of constantly interrupting.
I was only trying to
In fact,
stop.
your manners in general could stand a great deal of improvement.
Excuse me.
Yeah, excuse me.
You're too shaggy. Excuse me. I only followed Rule 2. By now, you should be making definite progress on the road to popularity. Where did I go wrong? To have people interested in you, you must be interested in them. I am. And you must let them know it. Ask questions. Nothing flatters a person more than to be asked about himself. The more you want to know about them, the more interested they know you are. Rule 3. Be interested. Ask questions. Hello, Craig.
Hello, Kathy. Is Patty home?
No, she isn't. Can I help you?
I just wanted to return her math book.
Oh, I'll give it to her for you.
Okay, thank you. I never did thank you for helping me with my Latin.
That's all right.
It was really nice of you. Well, I mean, you don't find many girls who go out of the way to help you with your Latin.
I was glad to do it.
You're a very unusual girl, Kathy.
Am I?
Maybe it's because you were brought up in Europe. But you're awfully continental. In a nice way, I mean. And you're very honest.
Rule 2.
What?
I make it a rule 2.
Oh.
I mean, nobody likes a dish rat.
I never thought of it like that. You're very interesting. I'm usually pretty shy around girls, but you're very easy to talk to.
So are you. I'm usually shy around boys.
You? Oh, you're kidding me. You probably dated a lot of older men. Europeans. I'll bet they're different, aren't they?
They've had more experience, but they've been at it longer.
Yeah. I guess you must find us pretty boring. I mean, it must be hard for a beautiful genius like you to find someone interesting to talk to.
Thank you. It's not that hard. For example, I find you very interesting.
You do?
Definitely. I think you're very unusual.
Oh, I suppose I am. Well, I dream a lot. Well, I mean, I have plans. I know what I want to do with my future. I feel you have to know what you want to be, and plan for it, and work for it.
Certainly an admirable attitude. What are you going to be, Craig?
Either a movie star or a dentist.
That's wonderful.
Well, I've sure enjoyed talking to you. Bye.
Bye. Rule 3. Be interested. Ask questions. Craig!
Yes?
Where were you born?
Where was I born?
Yes.
Omaha.
Isn't that exciting?
You must be thinking of some other Omaha.
Tell me about your family.
What do you want to know?
Everything, Craig Whitlaw. Whitlaw is a very unusual name.
You know something.
What?
You have a reason for asking all these questions, don't you? Someone told you to.
Well, in a way, yes.
I knew we'd never live it down. Okay, my Uncle Harvey's a bigamist. That's why we changed our name and left Omaha. But it's no use. No matter where we go, there'll always be some snoop digging up our family skeleton.
Be interested. Ask questions. Cat? Cat? Don't you want any dinner? What's in Thorne? Me, in everyone's side. I'm going to be the youngest old maid in America. Holy moly. You can be popular. No, I can't. Even Aunt Jane couldn't help me. Only 3 lessons and everybody hates me. Some people are just meant to be wallflowers. Perhaps I'll be a lighthouse keeper. You're no wallflower. Why, you're the smartest girl I know. That's not what counts. Not with boys. And boys are what count. You're smarter than I thought. But you can't be a wheel by reading a rule book. That's fakey. If you want the monsters to dig you, you have to light your own scene. Don't be dual. Dual? Don't you speak any English. Be yourself. When I'm myself, I'm by myself. You have to work with what you've got. What have I got? That's what we're going to find out. It should be easier. You've traveled all over the world. I could talk about the Louvre or La Scala. That's how you wind up being babysitter to a lighthouse. It's no use. Dancing's always a good gimmick. I mean, you start out with the boy's arms around you. I can waltz. Marvy, is that the only dance you know? I don't know any of the latest dances, except for some Zambesi tribal dances Father took me to in Africa. They were quite interesting. Great. I've got a Zambesi tribal dance around my hands. Of course, I don't have the downbeat, but the rhythm goes like this. You're an orbit! Well, Zambesi people are river people, and they start by pulling in their boat. And then they inspect the nets. Cuckoo. Isn't that wild? And then they push the boat to the river. Something she picked up in Africa. On a safari.
Crazy.
And then, with their nets full, they go home.
Kathy, show me this part again.
Oh, well, that's pushing
No,
down.
show me this one.
Oh, now let me see.
How about this part?
Pushing the boat and then rowing it.
No, how about this one, Kathy? Show me.
Why don't we all learn together? Let's start with pushing. It's an authentic African tribal dance.
Yeah?
And then...
Boy, I really dig that exotic bit.
Let's try.
No, I gotta get some pointers from Kathy.
Hello, Uncle Martin.
Hello, Kathy.
I'm sorry I'm late. Craig and I stopped at the library.
You've had half a dozen phone calls. The messages are on the table.
Thank you. That is a lovely dress, Aunt Natalie.
This old thing, why, it's 5 years old.
It's very becoming. It makes you look so slim.
Thank you.
I don't know how long this new phase is going to last, but I like it.
I read your editorial today, Uncle Martin. It was brilliant.
Let's not overdo it.
I'll get it, Aunt Natalie. Hello? I told you not to call me. We have to be careful. I can't talk now. Please, don't you understand? I can't talk now. If you don't mind, I think I'll split. Suddenly I have this terrible headache. I think I'll get in the rack. Say hello for me to whoever it is. She's gone, Richard. I can talk now.
Oh, no.
Tomorrow? Certainly. I'll meet you after biology class at the gym. Mm-hmm. Oh, you'd better make it around back so she won't know. Fine. Good night.
You're, seeing Richard?
I was trying to think of a way to repay Patty for being so wonderful to me. So Richard and I are planning a surprise party for her. Won't she be thrilled?
I know I am.
Dear Aunt Jane, I have this terrible problem. My cousin is a rat. She's been trying to steal this beast I've been going with. And I want you to help me.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins.
To your mother, even if it's goodbye.
I'm sorry. I'm busy throwing Richard away. Bluebeard.
Man trouble?
Richard's not a man. He's a two-timing, double-dealing wolf. And you know something else? I couldn't care less.
I'm glad it doesn't bother you.
Do you know who he's taking ice skating Saturday? Sue Ellen Turner. He didn't even give me a chance to turn him down.
Would you have turned him down?
Never.
Perhaps he has some special reason for taking her.
You bet he has. Her father has a sports car, and she lets Richard drive it.
I'm sure you're more important to Richard than an automobile.
A two-tone, four-barrel carburetor job with stick shift.
I lost out to a red roadster with a rumble seat.
You mean you had boy trouble, too?
Your father and I almost broke up. We were going steady, but there was a cute little blonde named Pauline who was chasing him.
She had the red roadster.
And a rumble seat. One afternoon, your father and I had a date, and he never showed up. He called that evening to explain that he'd gone for a drive with Pauline. She had driven him to the country, and their car had broken down.
What did you do?
Tore up his picture and told him I never wanted to see him again.
How did he get you back?
He wrote a poem to me.
A poem?
That's right. A beautiful love poem. I was so flattered I married him a week later.
Oh.
You talk to Richard. I'm sure everything will be fine.
Poem. Love poems. When Love Has Gone, by Charles Worth Remington. When love has gone, love has gone. The skies cry bitter rain. The skies cry bitter rain.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bouquets, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
they walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Well, that's lovely, Kathy. What do you call it?
I don't have a title for it yet, Aunt Natalie.
How about Stardust?
You're very talented.
Thank you. I studied composing when Father and I were in England. I had to give it up when he started traveling around Europe for the newspaper.
Have you heard from him this week?
I got a letter this morning. He's in Bombay. Happy afternoon, everybody, dear.
Richard's taking you ice skating Saturday.
How did you know?
I'm psychic.
He chose you over a sports car? He's sick.
How'd you like to be a test pilot in a rat trap factory?
Boy, when I go 6 more inches, am I gonna get you?
Sibling. How did you get Richard to change his mind? I wrote something for him.
A check.
Ross, don't you have homework to do?
No, I want to stay here. I gotta learn to protect myself from girls.
Ross.
Bye. I'm going.
What did you write?
A poem.
You didn't. How does it go?
You know, just like any other poem.
Well, let's hear it.
All right. When love has gone. When love has gone, love has gone. The stars forget to glow, and laughter turns to sadder songs than we were meant to know. When love has gone, all has gone. The skies cry bitter rain for all the lovers who have kissed and will not kiss again. That's beautiful.
Patty, I'm really impressed.
It was nothing. Either you have literary talent or you haven't.
Before we have to take off like a herd of turtles, I'd like to remind you that this is the final week of the Jimmy Dean Songwriting Contest, and your entries have to be in before or postmarked before midnight Friday. And I will sing the winning song next week on the show. Now, the winners, gets a $100 cash prize, and his song will be published. So get him in here, and we'll thank the heck out of you. All right? Good.
There's Richard. I'll be home early. Bye. Enjoy yourself. When love has gone, when love has gone, love has gone, the stars forget to glow.
Good night, Patty.
Aren't you coming in?
I can't. I promised my father I'd be home early. My uncle's visiting us, and I have to spend some time with him. And I haven't finished my geometry.
Dad's out.
Why don't we have a sandwich?
Hi, Kat. You're just in time. Listen. When love has gone, love has gone, the stars forget to go.
She's playing my song.
Returns to sadder songs than we were meant to know. When love has gone, all has gone. The skies cry bitter rain for all the lovers who have kissed and will not kiss again. Kathy, that's great. You're a real talent.
I'll say it's good enough to be in the Jimmy Dean Song Contest.
No, it's not.
You could win $100.
Money isn't everything.
Well, you want everybody to hear your song, don't you?
No. Some things are sacred. Do you really think we'd have a chance? No. Of course not. There are probably millions of entries.
What do you got to lose?
You.
What?
You wouldn't want us to commercialize our talent, would you?
I don't understand you, Patty. You usually have more angles than Sergeant Bilko. And now you got a chance to win $100 and maybe be famous, and you don't want to invest in a 5-cent stamp.
You're right, Richard. I'll mail it in the morning.
Don't bother. I'll do it for you.
No. It's my song. I'll mail it.
It's all the same postal service. Do you know what it'll mean if you win?
Do I?
Well, I'll be immortal. Like Whistler's mother. Don't worry. I'll mail this in the morning. Good night.
Rich! I've written a lot of music, but I've never had anything published. What do we do if we win? About 7 years. Kathy, we've got to get that song back from Richard. You don't like my music? I love your music. That's the point. It might just win. Then what's the matter? I'll show you what the matter is. When love has gone, love has gone. Stars forget. Patty, someone's stolen your poem. Boy, you really love me, don't you? I stole it. Patty, how could you? With my crooked little pencil, that's how could I. But I only did it to get Bluebeard back. I didn't expect it to go in any contest. Now do you see why we can't enter it? You know what they can do to you for plagiarism? No. Neither do I, and I don't want to find out. But we'll just have to tell Richard the truth. Have you ever seen Sue Ellen on ice skates? If Richard takes her ice skating, I'm sunk. I know what we can do. I'll call him and tell him I've decided I don't want my music entered in the contest. Then he'll never have to know about the poem. You've done it again. We'll call him first thing in the morning. Don't take any arguments. Just tell him you want the song back. Be firm. Hello, Mr. Harrison. This is Kathy Lane. I'm sorry to bother you so early, but I have to talk to Richard. It's urgent. It's urgent. He what? Where? Oh, I see. Thank you very much. Where's Richard? He's left. So early? He told his father he had to go to the post office. What are we going to do? 7 years. Papo, you're sort of an expert on everything, aren't you?
Nobody's an expert on everything, but a good newspaper man has to know a little about everything.
I'll bet you've had a lot of interesting experiences. I mean, like, running into cases of plagiarism?
Plagiarism is a pretty serious matter, Patty.
How serious?
Well, it's a statutory offense. Plagiarists can be fined as much as $10,000.
$10,000?
And 7 years in jail.
I don't think I'm very hungry. Would you excuse me? I'm not very hungry either. What if it doesn't work? Will you stop worrying? Would I get you in trouble? Yes.
I know, it's really a great song, except for one thing. It stinks.
Mr. Kramer, it has all the qualities of 3 coins in the fountain.
It has one quality. It's all wet. No more songs today. My ulcer can't stand it.
Mr. Kramer, we'd like to take a song back.
What do you mean you'd like to take a song back?
We sent in a song for the Jimmy Dean Song Contest. That's right. And we've changed our minds. We've decided not to enter it.
Is that darling? They decided not to enter. We've gotten over 50,000 entries. Biggest contest we ever had. You can have your little song back. We've already narrowed it down to 3 entries. Give them back their song.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Kramer. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it.
Do you want some real good advice? Don't be songwriters.
We'll find your song and mail it to you. What's the title?
When Love Has Gone.
When Love Has Gone? That's one of the 3 that we have in the finals.
It can't.
By Patty and Kathy Lane. That's you two, right? Which one of you wrote the lyrics? Come on, don't be modest.
I did.
Imagine someone that young writing lyrics like that. Ooh, you got real heart. It got me. Yeah. The skies cried bitter rain. All the lovers that have kissed and will not kiss again. It put me away.
Thanks, Mr. Kramer, but if you don't mind, we'd like our song back. Then you'll only have 2 contestants to worry about.
Modest. You can always tell the real pros. Really. You know, if you took your song out of the contest now, people would think that the contest was fixed. Now, you wouldn't want anybody to think something crooked was going on, now would you?
No, sir. However...
Good. Be sure to watch the Jimmy Dean show next Thursday night. Real hard.
How did you get us into this? Me? Yeah, you and your music. You were the one who stole... We have nothing to be panicky about. The other 2 songs are probably great. Of course. And even if we did win, Charlesworth Remington probably doesn't even watch the program. He's a poet. He probably can't even afford a television set. Most poets are poor, broken-down beatniks. If he was famous, like Robert Frost or Carl Sandburg, we would have heard of him. Exactly. He's probably struggling along in some tiny garret in Greenwich Village, cold and hungry. If the song wins, we'll send the check back to the publisher and ask him to track Mr. Remington down and give it to him. That's a great idea. Stealing his poem is the biggest favor we could have done him. Kathy, we've taken a starving, broken-down poet and given him back his self-respect. You know what we are? We're patrons of the arts.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. The announcement of the winner of the Jimmy Dean Song Contest. And here he is with the good news, Jimmy Dean.
And I thank you. We have, ladies and gentlemen, looked through thousands and thousands of songs, and picking a winner wasn't an easy thing to do. There was one song, however, that we kept coming back to.
My song.
We believe that this song is going to be a big, big one. It's the kind of a ballad that people have enjoyed for years and years.
Well, for heaven's sakes, why doesn't he give us the name of it?
It is my pleasure to introduce for the first time on TV, When Love Has Gone. Lyrics by Patty Lane, music by Kathy Lane.
Congratulations.
You realize that everybody down at the Chronicle is watching this, even J.R.
Shh! I want to hear my song.
When love is gone, love has gone. The stars forget to glow, and laughter turns to sadder songs than we were meant to know. When love is gone, all has gone. The sky cries bitter rain for all the lovers who have kissed and will not kiss again.
Are you certain that old Remington doesn't have a television set in his garret?
Positive.
I can't hear my song.
Isn't this exciting? There must be 20 million people listening to the song.
Perhaps 20 million. And one.
When love is gone, life is gone. The world's a spinning stone that's lost in space, and we must face our journey all alone. Our journey all
Listen to this. Congratulations. Have just ordered first printing of 50,000 copies of When Love Has Gone. Looks like a winner. Sam Kramer Bird Music Corporation.
Cuckoo.
Hello? I know, isn't it exciting? The phone hasn't stopped ringing all morning. Every time the girls started to leave for school, there was another phone call or telegram, so I decided to let them stay home today. How often do you become famous? Thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Who is that?
It was,
Here's an offer to do a week in Las Vegas.
If you get one to go to Timbuktu, grab it. You never know when you might want to see Timbuktu. I'll get it.
Hello? This is Patty Lane. It's Swing Time magazine. They want to do a telephone interview with us. Yes? How do I work? Well, it's a matter of inspiration. I mean, either you have it or you don't. I like to work in a darkened room, facing north. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of calls have been coming in, but I don't know if I want to make songwriting my life's work or not.
Fame is so fleeting, isn't it?
Well, I may do a Broadway show or two, and then I'll see. Would you like to talk to Kathy? She can't come to the phone right now. Oh, we'll be in all day. You can send the photographer out any time. Oh, thank you. Bye. Swing Time magazine is sending out a photographer. Can I get my hair done? I don't think you have to bother. Why not? Please arrange to be home this evening at 8 o'clock. Coming to discuss very important matter. Charles Worth Remington.
who is he?
Starving beatnik from Greenwich Village. Kind of collaborator.
How serious is it, Martin?
That depends entirely on Remington. He's probably boiling mad. And he has every right to be. He's not only been cheated out of his glory, he's been cheated out of his money.
We didn't mean to cheat him.
I have a hard time proving that.
What if we gave him some money, in addition to whatever he makes on the song?
We're going to have to. It's the only thing we have to trade. We'll put his name on the lyrics and give him all the royalties and offer him a cash settlement for damages.
What if he refuses to settle?
And we'll face that when we come to it. He either wants money or vengeance. That could be him now. Judging by that Rolls Royce parked out there, it's vengeance.
Mr. Lane, I presume?
Yes?
I am Charles Worth Remington.
Very pleased to meet you.
How do you do?
Won't you come in, sir? Mr. Remington, this is my wife, Mrs. Lane, my son, Ross,
How do you do?
my daughter, Patty, my niece, Kathy, my dog... this is Mr. Remington.
Won't you sit down?
No, thank you. This won't take very long. I'm here about that song that was played on the Jimmy Dean show last night.
Yes, we know.
You also know who wrote the words to it?
Yes, sir. You did.
That is correct. 25 years ago.
It was all my fault. Kathy had nothing to do with it. I'm just as guilty as she is. I'm an accessory after the fact. It was all my idea.
Just let me handle this. Now, we are fully prepared to make any restitution you ask, Mr. Remington.
Restitution for what happened last night?
We'll do anything.
You already have.
You can say that again.
I wrote that poem to a girl called Alice. She was the love of my life. We'd had a quarrel, and I wrote the poem to show her how I really felt about it. It got lost in the mail. Of course, I didn't know that. When I didn't hear from her, I assumed that she wasn't interested in me any longer, so I left the country. I went to Australia, where I started a sheep ranch. I became very rich, but I never forgot Alice. What I didn't know was that she finally did receive my poem. And she tried to call me to tell me that she loved me too. But of course, I had left by that time. She even had the poem published, hoping that I would see it. All these years that I've been searching for her, she's been searching for me too. We had just about given up hope of ever finding each other. When last night she heard my poem set to music. I heard it too. We both went to the television station. We met.
I'm going to cry.
So am I.
Alice and I are leaving on a round-the-world honeymoon trip tonight.
Then you're not mad at me?
I owe you a great deal, young lady. I came to thank you.
I told you we were doing something beautiful for someone.
I can't tell you how happy you've made us all.
Oh, there's just one thing. Alice thinks it was my idea to have the poem set to music, and she's very romantic. I don't like to disillusion her.
I won't tell anybody. What about all the money from the song?
Oh, you can do what you like with that. Well, Alice is waiting for me, so once again, thank you all. Bye.
I'll see you out, Mr. Remington.
We're going to make millions from that song. The first thing I'm going to do with the money...
To set up a scholarship.
Me? A scholarship?
That's right. You were the one who was worried about struggling writers starving in freezing garrets, remember? Well, this is your chance.
That's a wonderful idea, Uncle Martin. Maybe it's not so bad at that. Patty Lane's scholarship.
The Charles Worth Remington Scholarship.
Oh. Well, what do I care? There's plenty more where that came from.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find
they laugh alike,
they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
I saw him first. He's mine. No, he's not, Patty. He followed me home. Well, you can't keep him. Don't see why not. He doesn't belong to you. He doesn't belong to you either. Finders keepers. Natalie, Patty's trying to take away. That's not true, Mom. I brought home the cutest...
Just a minute, both of you. There will be no more pets in this house. No exceptions. Where is he?
I left him in the living room. You mean I left him in the living room? He came home with me.
Well, he's going out with you.
There he is.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights the girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Happy to meet you, Mr.
Cal, ma'am. Please call me Cal.
Cal is from Bukhanistan. It's near India.
Well, you are very welcome here.
You are most gracious. This is the first home I have ever been in.
Oh, you mean in America?
I mean ever.
Back home, don't you live with your parents?
I am an orphan. I live with my uncle. It must be wonderful to have this kind of privacy. At home, 50 of us live under one roof.
50?
Sometimes more. My country is a very poor one. I came over here to learn things so that I can help my people when I return.
That's beautiful. Cal is here to learn American know-how.
That's one of our best exports. How do you like America so far?
Very, very much. The people are so warm.
I see. Oh, that must be the cleaners. Oh.
This is the first money I have ever handled.
You mean the first American money?
The first money ever. I mean, we are not allowed to handle money.
Excuse me.
How did you make out in your exams yesterday?
I did well in some subjects. In others, what do you say, goofed.
We have a lot in common. I'm terrible in school.
The most difficult subject for me is American history. We are having a test on Friday. I was hoping perhaps we could stuff together.
Stuff together?
Well, you know, squeeze.
Oh, you mean cram.
Oh, that's it, cram.
I'll help you, Cal. Who's going to help you? I know more about American history than she does. She's been brought up in Europe. I've had the advantage of living in Brooklyn Heights all my life. Would you like to stay and have dinner with us, Cal?
Please do. I make very good potato pancakes.
I would enjoy that very much. But unfortunately, tonight I cannot. I must be with my uncle.
Then come another night.
You come as often as you like.
I'll see you to the door. I'll walk you home. It's about time. Where did you walk him to, Bukhanistan? Cousin dear, this is a free country. As one of our great American presidents said, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. It's my kitchen. Cal came here today to see me. Then why did he walk home with me? Because you threw yourself at him. Maybe I did, but he caught me. I'm doing you a favor. Cal's not your type. And exactly what type is he? Well, he's dark and dreamy looking. That's my type. He needs someone who can teach him American customs. That's me. I'm as American as apple pie. Oh? And what am I? A wet crumpet.
You should have heard him, Martin. He's never had any money in his life. He lives in a place with 50 people, and yet he doesn't feel one bit sorry for himself. All he kept talking about was going back to his country and helping his people.
Sounds like quite a boy.
He is. He's beautiful and very serious-minded.
He came to this country to learn American customs.
And which one of you two is helping him to learn?
I am.
Oh?
Oh, don't look at me. I'm just the referee.
Is this what they mean by the eternal triangle?
I'll have to meet this boy. I didn't think the two of you were attracted to the same type.
A dreamboat is a dreamboat in any language.
I'd like to help him if we could.
He lives with an uncle, and he didn't say much, but I get the feeling that the uncle is pretty strict with him.
Well, if he has a financial problem, I might be able to get him a job on the paper after school.
Could you, Uncle Martin? We'd appreciate that. Who's we? Calmere and I.
I'll check and see if we have an opening for a copy boy.
I could make him a loan. He couldn't afford your rates. You know something? I hope Kathy gets him. That's a terrible thing to say to your own sister.
It's a silly thing to say. Why, it isn't as though Kathy and Patty are competing for him.
No, of course not. No, of course not. Now, next question. The Louisiana Purchase was made in?
1803, December 20th.
Very good. Next. Who followed President Arthur?
Mrs. Arthur?
What I had in mind was President Cleveland.
I know. Grover. Could we stop a while, Catherine?
I'm sorry. I have been pushing you pretty hard. I got carried away.
You are a wonderful teacher.
You're easy to teach.
There is so much to learn, so much to do.
You can do anything you want to.
You make me believe it.
It's true. All you need is a dream, and you have one.
What is your dream, Catherine?
To make a chocolate souffle that won't fall.
No, tell me.
I'm full of dreams. I'd like to be a teacher, or a nurse, or a scientist, and invent something to help humanity. When I was a little girl, I used to dream of doing some great deed and having a city named after me.
Catherineville. It has a nice sound. My uncle would like you. Last night I told him about you.
What did you tell him?
It does not matter. I brought you a gift.
Cal, you must never do that.
But why? Is that not the custom in your country?
That isn't the point. You mustn't ever spend any of your money on me.
I did not spend any money on it. I had it. And I wanted very much for you to have it. Please, open it.
It's beautiful.
Do you really like it?
Very much. It will make a lovely paperweight.
A paperweight? It is yours to do with as you wish.
There you are. Well, sorry I'm late. Now we can all sit down and do our homework together. Let's see, here we go now. Who followed President Arthur? Mrs. Arthur?
Hey, that's pretty. Where'd it come from?
Cal brought it.
No, that looks like a real emerald.
Except that if it were, it'd be worth about $100,000.
Well, it can't be worth $100,000. I just got him a job as a copy boy on the Chronicle.
That's wonderful.
Oh, Natalie. Unless I'm crazy, this real emerald is a real emerald.
That's impossible.
What'd you say this boy's name was?
Calmere Prakashamand.
Oh, no.
Have you heard of him?
Heard of him? My new copy boy is the Crown Prince of Buchanistan.
Cal, he couldn't be.
Why not?
Because he had lunch here and I used my old silver. He said he was poor. He said he lived in a place with 50 servants. And he never handled money because...
He had an equerry to take care of little details like that. His uncle is General Sarika, the United Nations delegate from Buchanistan. I did an interview with him last week.
Whose uncle is General Sarika?
Your friend Cal. He's the Crown Prince of Buchanistan.
What? Holy moly. My Cal is a Crown Prince?
Well, I don't know whose Cal he is, but he's a prince, all right. Oh, I'll get that. Guard it with your life.
He never told me. He wanted me to treat him like just an ordinary boy. It's the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
General Sarika.
Mr. Lane, I'm very sorry to intrude without notice,
But the matter is urgent.
Yes, well, I know why you're here, General, and I assure you they had no idea the emerald was genuine.
Emerald?
Yeah, it's right in here. General Sirica, may I present Mrs. Lane, my daughter Patty.
I'm very happy to meet you, General. Your nephew has spoken of you.
I have come on behalf of His Highness, the Crown Prince of Buchanistan, to bring a proposal of marriage.
Oh, Mom.
To your niece, Catherine.
Kathy? Are you sure you got the message right? I'm Patty. Both our names end in Y. It's very easy to make a mistake.
There is no mistake.
I'll get Kathy. Don't anybody dare say a word until I get back.
I don't know what to say, General. This comes as something of a shock.
I'll say.
His Highness is very impulsive, but once his mind is made up, he does not change it. If your niece will have herself in readiness at noon tomorrow, a limousine will pick her up and bring her to the embassy, where the marriage contract will be signed. Will that be convenient?
I'm afraid not.
Another time would be more convenient?
Yes, about 5 years from now. General Sirica, Kathy is 16 years old.
I have pointed that out to His Highness. He said he has nothing against older women.
Older?
In our country, the brides are usually younger. Your Highness.
Kathy, this is General Sirica. Now, the General has come here...
I know. Aunt Natalie told me. Calmer sent you.
His Royal Highness has asked me to convey to you his deep feelings for you and assurances that he will do everything in his power to see to your future happiness.
He said that?
Well, now, this is all very flattering, and we certainly appreciate the honor, General, but...
Your niece will be given a dowry of £1 million. She will have her own staff of servants, motor cars, a summer palace and a winter palace.
A summer palace and a winter palace?
Oh, General, I'm afraid...
The marriage ceremony will take place in Buchanistan in 10 days.
No, it won't. Now, please tell the prince there is not going to be any ceremony. General Sirica, you must realize that American customs are a little different.
But surely these customs are the same all over the world.
Well, not in this case. His Royal Highness has picked the wrong girl. I mean, Kathy is not even out of high school yet. Surely you don't believe that she's going to leave her home and travel halfway around the world to live in a foreign country with the Crown Prince. Right, well, tell him, Kathy.
Yes.
Martin, we've got to find a way to stop this.
We're going to, but not by forbidding them to see one another. We've got to be very careful that Kathy doesn't get hurt. We can't afford to offend Calmer. I mean, he's the head of a country, remember?
How could I forget it? Why couldn't they have brought a cat home?
What?
Nothing. Hadn't we better send Kenneth a cable?
And say what? Congratulations, you're going to be a father-in-law? Now, don't worry, Natalie. Believe me, Kathy will not go through with it. She's far too sensible.
You mean she's too sensible to turn down a handsome young prince whom she loves, £1 million, a summer palace, a winter palace...
Wait a minute. Whose side are you on?
There's a lot to be said for the other side, Martin. And besides, Kathy loves Cal.
How does she know who she loves? She's only 16.
I married you when I was 17.
Well, that was different. I mean, Kathy is attracted by the glamour, the fantasy of being a princess and ruling a country. It's storybook stuff.
It does sound glamorous, doesn't it?
Well, it's not going to sound so glamorous after I finish talking to her. I'm going to point out a few of the grim realities. She's going to be living in an underdeveloped country where there's a very high rate of poverty and living conditions are appalling. Don't worry. I'll knock that romantic little dream out of her. Oh, hello, Kath.
Hello, Uncle Martin. You're home early.
Yes. He has a lecture to give.
I've had the most wonderful time. I've been out shopping with Calmer.
Oh, what'd you buy? Matching elephants?
Isn't hers?
Kathy, sit down. Your Aunt Natalie and I want to talk to you. Now, Kathy, you're only 16 years old. You just can't get married and go running off to live in a country halfway around the world.
I agree.
You do? I told you there was nothing to worry about.
I talked to Cal and his uncle about it. I'm going to sign the marriage contract now, but I have to stay here and finish school. I won't go to Buchanistan until I'm 18. Look at these books and maps Cal bought me. I want to learn everything there is to know about Buchanistan before I go over there.
Well, I think I can help you. I'd like to give you a few facts about Buchanistan.
Wonderful. Cal has already told me quite a bit about it. Did you know that its per capita income is one of the lowest in the world? The poverty and disease over there are incredible. And do you know what it's due to?
No.
Ignorance. They need schools, hospitals, roads. Cal and I have been talking about an irrigation project. If it works, it could turn a whole desert into farmland. Look, we could raise the per capita income 17% in the first 2 years. Isn't that exciting?
She asked you if that isn't exciting.
Oh, yes, very. Where's the money coming from?
Part of it is coming from me.
You mean you're going to irrigate a whole desert on $5 a week?
Cal is going to sell that emerald he gave me. At first he hated the idea. It's been in his family for hundreds of years. But I convinced him that unless it's put to use, it's just a worthless stone. It could feed 1,000 families for 3 years. Isn't it incredible? No one ever thought of it that way before. If you'll excuse me, I want to get some charts ready. Calmira's coming over.
Well, you sure talked her out of her romantic little dream. What are we going to do now?
Cable Candy's going to be a father-in-law.
Come in. What did you knock for? It's your room, too. I didn't want to disturb you if you were working on affairs of state or anything. What? If you want me to, I'll move into Ross's room and he can sleep on the couch. Don't you want to share this room with me anymore? Sure, but... Well, when you move into the palace, I don't want you to have to tell him the last place you lived you had to share a room and bath. What are you standing at attention for? Sit down. When do you sign the marriage contract? Friday? Gee, only 3 more days as a civilian. What do I call you? Princess or Your Highness? Is that what's worrying you? Patty, I love you. You call me Kathy, you silly idiot. Or better yet, Kat. You mean it? Certainly. I'm the good princess. Can I come and visit you at the palace? You'd better. I'll be dying of homesickness. No, you won't. You'll be too busy ruling everything. You'll have a suite of your own, and you can stay as long as you like. Cal doesn't have any brothers, does he? He has 7. 7? Bingo!
Anybody home at the palace?
Just us slave girls.
Is Cal here?
He stopped by to drop off a gift.
You know, we have to find some way to make him stop giving these expensive gifts.
I suppose so. Look.
The formal signing of the marriage contract will take place at our embassy tomorrow. As a courtesy, however, we thought you would like to look up the various conditions now.
Let me say it again, General. Kathy is a minor. Nothing she signs now will be binding.
We understand that, Mr. Lane. It is really a premarital agreement. We would like to get this done now because my nephew must return home next week. When Catherine reaches her 18th birthday, it will become binding.
Unless Kathy changes her mind.
I won't.
I will see to that. Now, as to the terms, it is traditional for the bride to bring to the royal family 10 water buffalo.
Where am I going to find water buffalo in New York City?
50 camels.
I might be able to find one at the zoo, but 50 camels?
And the matter of money, the bride pays a dowry of all her worldly possessions to show her dependence upon her husband. How much money do you have?
$7.25.
$7.25.
If you can wait until Monday, I'll have another $5.
It will do. I think this covers the main points, but there are always these little difficulties with the first wife.
first wife?
Yes, the dowry changes in future marriages.
Future marriages?
What future marriages are those, General?
It is a small point. In our country, a man may have as many wives as he can afford.
My father had 15.
Do you mean you want me to be your first wife?
Of course.
And that you will marry other women after me?
Not right away.
Not right away.
This is the most outrageous...
Why didn't you tell me this before?
Well, I just took it for granted you knew. It is a way of our people.
But it's not my way. When I get married, it's going to be for keeps.
For keeps?
To one man, with one wife. Me.
It is nothing to get excited over. Different countries, different customs. You will get used to this.
I don't intend to try.
You don't mean you're refusing to marry me?
You'd better find a girl when you get back home. In America, girls like it our way better. One to a customer.
This is such a little thing. I do not understand.
I will explain it to you in the limousine. I'm afraid there is nothing more to talk about.
Just to say goodbye.
Catherine, perhaps if we discussed this, you would change your mind.
No. Good luck with the irrigation project.
Thank you. Goodbye, Catherine.
I'm so sorry, Kathy. Are you very upset?
No. Just a little numb. Do you know, I was almost a princess. She's getting dressed. She'll be right down.
Oh. Patty, has she said anything to you about,
Calmere?
Mm-hmm.
No. The first few weeks were pretty rough, but I think she's all right now.
I'm not. Boy, I could have been living in a palace.
She doesn't talk about it much.
She hasn't been going out at all. Can't you get her interested in something?
Or somebody?
I try. She just likes to be by herself.
Well, maybe you could try just a little harder, huh?
Sure.
Good morning.
Hello, dear.
Kath. Well, what do you girls have planned for tonight?
Richard and I are going bowling. Would you like to join us, Kath?
No, thank you, Patty. I think I'll stay in and write some letters.
Why don't you go, Kathy? You haven't been out one night in the last 6 weeks.
I guess I'm just not ready yet.
Try to forget him.
I will. I know it's ridiculous. By now, he's certainly forgotten all about me.
Cassie?
It's from Buchanistan.
What is it?
Look at the postmark. It's from Catherineville.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even